All right, I know it's been a while since I've made a video, and I apologize for that. Hopefully, you finished the Winston stories. I want to go over those with you just to make sure that you understood them and that the themes that you chose um, worked. So, I'm going to start with two. Winston story number two was the most difficult. So, if you had trouble with this, uh, don't feel discouraged because this one was really difficult to put into words as far as your theme. So, our evidence, the actions that the character is doing, Winston knew exactly what position he would play, right? He was going to be a pitcher. So, he went into this practice knowing that that's what he wanted to do. He didn't want to do anything else. His coach moved him to the outfield and let somebody else because he was frustrated, right? He was terrible at it. He could not pitch. So he was frustrated because the coach moved him to the outfield and let somebody else pitch, and he was not the pitcher that he thought he was going to be. So while he was out there, Winston took off running as fast as he could. He dove, catching the ball just in time. And then his coach said, "I've never seen anybody run so fast. You are going to be an amazing outfielder." Right. So if you look at their actions, and then you look at the consequence of those actions. So the actions were he was a terrible pitcher and he was frustrated. He went into the practice saying that he was only going to be pitcher. That's what he wanted to be. Um, but he was terrible at it. So his coach put him out in the outfield. And the consequence of that is that he ended up being really good at it. So, how do you put that into words? Well, some of the kids said, if you try new things, right? If you try new things, then you might be good at them, or you might find something new that you enjoy. Okay. Um, I told them that if you go into something um, and you're only looking at one thing and you're not looking for other options, you're not leaving yourself open to other options. It's called closed minded. So I said, like, be open to other possibilities. So if you're open to other possibilities, you may find something new that you enjoy. If you looked at the list of examples I gave you, and I'm not sure if you guys have these or not. Um, Let me know if you don't, because I will post them on Google Classroom or on the um, Week at a Glance if you don't have it. But I gave the kids a list of examples front and back. I think I did, but let me know if you don't. Um, but anyway, one of them on that list said sometimes what you didn't expect to enjoy can make you the happiest. So um, he didn't expect to enjoy being in the outfield. He wanted to be pitcher, but he was good at it. And then he got the praise. And so it made him feel good when the coach was saying how good he was going to be in the outfield. All right. So then the first one, most of the kids were able to grasp that one better. And what we did was we turned it into a paragraph because when you do your Edulastic assignment and when you do your test in the end, you are going to have to write a paragraph. It's going to ask you for the theme and then two pieces of evidence. And you need to not just write three separate sentences, but write it as a paragraph, connecting it together using transitions. So this one started the same. He was a terrible pitcher, but he went home. And so the evidence that I just highlighted, he was determined to get better. He went home that night and practiced throwing the ball until it got dark outside. He woke up early the next morning for more practice. He asked his coach for tips on becoming a better pitcher. And all week, he practiced throwing the ball and doing the drills that his coach recommended. And then I did not highlight this, but I should highlight the consequence of all of those things is that he came back to practice and he was able to throw three perfect pitches. Okay. So looking at the actions, all of those actions that he did, he practiced and practiced and practiced and practiced. Um, and then he was able, the consequence of that is that he actually became a good pitcher. So, what what's the theme? What lesson is the author trying to teach us? Well, some of the students said, if you practice, you will become better. So that was good. If you don't give up, you will get better. Okay. Some said something about if you don't give up on your dreams, you can achieve your goals or stuff, stuff like that. There's different ways of wording it. I liked when I saw this, what stuck out in my mind was that he was really working hard. Okay. Yes, he was practicing, but he was working hard. So I liked if you work hard, you will succeed. Um, that's not the only one. So don't think that that's the ones that the students gave me, I let them keep. But when you are writing it, you have to restate the prompt. So you're going to start with the theme of this passage or the theme of this story or the theme of the text. I don't care how you label that. Okay. The theme of this passage is if you work hard, you will succeed. That's your opening sentence. Do not put a comma after is. A lot of kids like to put commas after is. It's not, you don't put a comma there. So your first sentence is writing the theme, restating it, and making sure that the theme is a complete thought. So this is my theme. If you work hard, you will succeed. That has to be a complete thought. And then you add your introduction here, restating the prompt before it. Okay. Then we have to go into our evidence. So our evidence, we have two parts to our theme, right? If you work hard, you will succeed. So I want a piece of evidence that proves that he worked hard. And then I want a piece of evidence that proves that he succeeded. When you give evidence, you will have characters' names. Okay. So a theme, remember the three rules of theme. It has to be a complete sentence. It cannot have any characters' names. And it has to apply to everyone. So that's just with the first sentence, that's with the theme. But with the evidence, because your evidence is coming from the text, you will have the characters' names. Okay. So, of course, I'm getting the evidence from the text. So I'm going to give evidence based terms. I'm going to say, according to the text, Winston practiced throwing the ball until it got dark outside. Now, I'm just picking one thing. You could have said, um, Winston went home that night and practiced throwing the ball until it got dark out. Oh, wait, that's what I put. You could have said he woke up early the next morning for practice and practiced throwing the ball. You could have said that he asked his coach for tips on becoming a better pitcher. You could have said that he practiced throwing the ball and doing the drills his coach recommended. Okay. So any one of those you could write. Okay. You just need one to prove that he was working hard. Um, then we need um, a transition to my next sentence. Now, another thing, like with the according to the text, that's the easiest way to do it. You could say one piece of evidence that supports this is Winston practice. You could do that, but it's just a longer transition, but that still is correct. Okay. And then this next one would be then another piece of evidence. Okay. So instead of labeling it as evidence, I'm just telling the reader where I got this information. Okay. So the reason why this is the theme is because according to the text, Winston practiced throwing the ball until it got dark outside. It also says when he went back to practice, he was able to throw three perfect pitches. So, first of all, I can say it because I already set up here according to the text. So it refers to the text. I can also say he because I already said Winston up here. So you must say Winston first. But then if you say Winston in this first piece of evidence, then you can say he in the second one. Okay. But it must be in the first one. And then we read it afterwards to make sure that it all flows as one paragraph. The theme of this passage is if you work hard, you will succeed. According to the text, Winston practiced throwing the ball until it got dark outside. It also says when he went back to practice, he was able to throw three perfect pitches. That flows, there's transitions that connect the sentences together. Now, technically, um, you would need to write a concluding sentence, but I'm not going to have you do this right now. We will get to that eventually. But right now, I just want you to work on giving me that first um, sentence, the opening sentence, telling me what the theme is, and then using the transitions to connect your theme to your two pieces of evidence. Okay. You will need to do this when you do the assignment where you read the story and answer the questions on Edulastic. Now, the books are here at school, so um, I'm just going to have you wait until you get to school to do that assignment because we are going to be doing these stations next week also. Okay, we're going to finish them up next week. So now on to stations. So today we worked on stations. Okay, um, and instead of having you pick which one because it's a choice board, I'm just going to give you one to do. Okay, I'll give you a different one each day until you're back, and then when you're back, you can choose whatever one I didn't give you. Okay, you can choose then, and I will catch you up on all of that. So for today, I was going to give you the maze. Now, this you'll have to print out, and hopefully you can. If you cannot print this out at home, please let me know, and I will create a different um, station for you to do, and maybe save this for when you get back. So there are two sides to this. So you have to do both mazes. Let me go over what to do. This first one is just telling the difference between a main idea and a theme. So if it is a theme, the sentences below are possible themes or main ideas for reading passages. Shade in the possible themes to help the student find his backpack. Do not shade in main ideas. So what I want you to do is read each one, and if it is a main idea, do not shade it in. If it's a theme, put an um, put an X by it, and then when you get all the way done, like read every single one, then see if your little X's make a path. Then you can shade them in. Okay. Remember, themes have to be a complete thought. Themes cannot have any characters' names, and themes have to apply to everyone. Okay. Then on this one, it gives you a theme. Overcoming obstacles makes you stronger. An obstacle is something that gets in your way, that prevents you from doing something. It doesn't have to be a physical obstacle. It can be um, an emotional one or what. Let's say if you are blind, that's an obstacle. And then if you learn to read, that is overcoming that obstacle, and you're stronger for it. So it's not stronger as much as like strength, physical strength, but it might just be emotionally stronger. Okay. Your character is stronger. So let's read one and we'll see if we can at least give an example with it. So growing up very poor gave Di the determination to work hard and go to college. So does it show that she has an obstacle? Yeah, growing up poor, that is her obstacle. Okay. Did it make her stronger? Yes, because she has determination to work hard and go to college. So this one I would shade in. Okay. Do that for all of them. Make sure that they become stronger. So if they just talk about having an obstacle, but the character does not, get better because of it or get stronger for it, then it wouldn't meet it wouldn't meet um, the theme. Okay, so those do both of those sides, and then when you come back to school, just bring it in, and you can turn it into the bin. If you have any questions, this isn't on Google Classroom yet, but as soon as I'm done making this video, I am going to put it on Google Classroom. So go to Google Classroom and no, actually, take that back. I'm going to put the link on the Week at a Glance. Sorry, go to Week at a Glance. It's going to be on there. All right. Enjoy.